Hello, folks. Good morning. This is Dr. Godswill Oki once again, your communication lecturer. I hope you had a good weekend. Like we promised last week, we shall be looking at an important aspect of communication which impacts upon us non-verbally, verbally, and in every way, but we shall categorize it within the non-verbal cues. And here we are talking about attitude. Attitude is quite important, it's quite essential in communication. Attitude is that thing that determines everything about a person. It determines everything about what a person does, and it determines how the person communicates, and even how the person is defined in an organization. You may find out that what you are dealing with are interwoven, they are interrelated, one with another. Attitudes, personal image, and perception. But the overriding one actually for me is the attitude. What are those attitudes we hold? It has been defined as a mental state of a person, with regards to something, with regards to a position, it could be with regards to communication, it could be regards with a situation or to another person. There is already a predisposed position you've taken towards an issue. For instance, some people have attitudes towards religion. Some people have attitudes towards maybe some office policies, or towards a person, may have certain attitudes, either negative or positive towards that person. And these, at the end of the day, they impact on the communication needs of that organization. For instance, an attitude can lead to fracas in an organization. It can lead to a lot of dispute. It can lead to conflict. Whereas a good attitude can also build harmony, can also build warmth and cooperation. Thank you very much. To achieve effective communication in the workplace, we have to be acquainted with the 4 types of attitudes, which presupposes that there are 4 types of attitudes which we need to know, especially when we are either you're a student or you are a worker. There are 4 types of attitudes. There is the passive attitude. That answers itself. There are those who don't want to have issues, those who don't want to have problems, and they just maybe want to be on their own. Like they could be the yes men, And then there are the passive aggressive attitude. It depends on how it swings. The person may respond to each particular position is taken. Passive aggressive attitude. Some people come with that kind of predisposition. You're passive about certain things, and in some other cases, you may have you may tilt towards the aggressive part of it. Then there are those with the aggressive attitudes. That answers itself, talking about those with aggressive attitudes. It is not every communication that may end cordially. It may not be of their own making, but that is the way they've been built, either as a result of social factors around them, as a result of things that may have happened to them, as a result of their surroundings, how they grew up, or maybe just their individual persona. Those things could have built up their individual, that aggressive tilt to look at things, so they see things from that point of view. And for a good communicator, you may need to, you don't need to judge somebody. You look at him from that point of view. What could have happened to that attitude? What could have happened to that person to make him behave or talk in that way? And when you do that, you better understand and devise a better way to communicate with him. Then there are those with the assertive attitude. either as a junior worker or as the boss. As a middle level worker, they have an assertive attitude, and this comes to play even in their communication. It's important for us to understand such people. What does it mean? They must have their way in that communication. They must have their way in whatever is to be done. They may want to lead at all time. They may want to shout down. They are assertive. They want to be in control. So you need to also understand the reason why the person communicates that way and find a solution or a way that you need to handle such persons, as it is. This calls for wisdom, when you're communicating with such, especially if such a person is your boss. How would you communicate with somebody who is assertive, who is right all the time, and who may not seek your point of view as may be the case? So our understanding of these, the passive aggressive, the aggressive, and the assertive will help us a lot, especially when we are in an official situation, in a communicative setting within an official situation. Your recognition of how each person communicates, especially your colleagues, will go a long way to help you to deal with each person, at least for that period, nicely, and to get the job to be done. Now, there are 3 components of an attitude which we may need to know, because this is just to help us have an idea of what we are to do. We have the affective aspect of an attitude. The affective deals essentially with our feelings. How do we feel about something? What is our within us? How do we feel about an issue? It's the affective component. The affective component determines how we respond, how we react to certain things, and also we have the behavioral component. This is what makes manifest. It makes manifest when we are when we are talking about attitude. It determines the way we act, and in acting, it also determines the way we talk or the way we communicate, as may be the case. The behavioral part. And finally, on that, we have also the cognitive component. The cognitive component deals essentially with our beliefs, with our values. And it's like a prism. It determines how we thereafter see certain things. If our value systems are, mild, our predisposition towards a lot of things as a result of the cognitive, as a result of what experiences we are coming with, would also definitely be mild. And even in the affective, even in the behavioral, will also be mild. But if it's conflicted, as may be the case, or hostile, it will also impact how we communicate. Thank you very much. We need to know that a good communication attitude is essential in the organization where we work. It's essential, even for our lives, even in our personal lives. With a good communication attitude, you're going to achieve a lot of results. With a good communication attitude, you're going to have effective communication, and you're going to attract the kind of attention, positive attention that you need. You're going to have cooperation in the workplace. And with a good communication attitude, you can achieve your tasks. It's not everything that may need to end up with either you quarrel about it, or you shout about it, or you become pugnacious and aggressive about it. No. So therefore, you need a good communication attitude to achieve that. Conversely, a poor communication attitude, a negative communication attitude, will not enable you to achieve those results you want to achieve, which you desire to achieve. Why? Because of the negative attitude, because of the poor attitude, because of your relationship with one another, or to other people. So in whatever we do in our work situations, we should and try as much as possible, because the attitude is actually that mirror into yourself. It shows the totality of your being. You can't hide an attitude. It's like looking at somebody into the eyes. It reveals a lot. So the attitude is quite important. So it's something we should train and work on, because it will enhance our relationship with others, and it will make our works easier and better for us, and at the end of the day, for the organization. Thank you once again for being with Communication Moments with Dr. Godswill Oki. Keep watching, keep sharing, keep subscribing. And wherever you have questions, don't hesitate. Write, call, and we shall attend to it. Thank you and have a good day.